My name is Cam Neal, and this is a presentation about Australia's disaster management plan. I will first begin this presentation by going over the history of Australia's disaster management plan. Disaster management was mostly informal up until the early 1900s, reliant on community-driven efforts in the Australian Red Cross that was established in 1914. World War I and the Spanish flu epidemic prompted the first coordinated national responses, including quarantine measures and federal oversight. Due to the quarantine measures that were in place for the Spanish flu epidemic of 1918, it resulted in Australia having one of the lowest global death rates. During the mid-1900s, after devastating events like the Black Friday bushfires of 1939 and the Tasmanian fires, also referred to as Black Tuesday of 1967, the National Disasters Organization, or NDO, was established in 1974 to centralize disaster management. This era marked a shift from local responses to a top-down approach emphasizing federal coordination and preparedness. And these are just some of the accounts of Black Tuesday that mark the historic event. In the 2000s, following global terrorism events such as the 9/11 attacks and the Bali bombings, Australia expanded its focus to include man-made disasters. In 1993, NDO rebranded to EMA, which introduced measures like the National Stockpile of Medicine and large-scale training exercise to enhance preparedness for both natural and human-made threats. During the 2010s, one of the most devastating natural disasters occurred in Australia. The Black Saturday bushfires of 2009 recorded record-breaking heat waves and reinforced the need for stronger disaster policies. In 2022, EMA became the National Emergency Management Agency, otherwise known as NEMA, which prioritizes leading efforts in disaster resilience, education, and international collaboration. Here's just a photo of Black Saturday. It's not the best picture, but it just represents and shows, I think, the most accurate depiction of how bad Black Saturday was. It is just a picture of the forest being set ablaze and in flames. Australia's current disaster management approach employs a top-down strategy while collaborating closely with local communities, industries, and NGOs. It combines past experiences into modern practices, such as the National Emergency Management Stockpile for Rapid Response, the Australian Institute for Disaster Resilience, and educational initiatives led by the Australian Institute for Disaster Resilience. Globally, Australia aligns with the Sendai framework to enhance disaster reduction and resilience across the Asia-Pacific region. And on the bottom right is part of the Australian Institute for Disaster Resilience, and those are homes, or I guess temporary homes that people can stay in who are in need of housing before, after, and during natural disasters. Australia's disaster management has greatly evolved through a century of learning driven by necessity and initiative. From community-led efforts to comprehensive federal oversight, the nation continues to adapt, ensuring preparedness and resilience against future challenges.